The 365 Pro Wrestling Podcast. 365, this is my life. Pro wrestling, baby, it ain't 9 to 5. Ladies and gentlemen, Elian Habanero's coming out with a new song for us. I'm pretty excited about it. It'll sound a lot better than that, I promise you. But today, I'm joined again by Joe Hallam. It was going to be originally Eli Surge, but Joe was just so much fun. I wanted to have him on twice. The last guest out of our 7-day week, so we did it. We did a whole week with podcasts. So I'm pretty excited about that. I don't know how Joey and all them feel, but I really like the last one, and I hope you enjoy this one just as much. Also, don't forget, this Friday, January 10th, we're in Campbell River at the Willow Point Lions Club, and on the 11th, we'll be at the Comox Band Hall in Courtney. So he's back, ladies and gentlemen. We were talking, we're having such a good time that I wanted to have him on again right away. This is Joe-dawg. This is Joey Harlem for Reggie Marley. And welcome back, the first repeat guest.
I could not be more honored. Like I thought, I just don't feel like I deserve it almost to be a double guest. But yeah, I'm super happy to be here again.
No, I love it, man. Let's talk about some of the things you've been doing. You've been doing some really amazing shows every October for the last couple of years. You've been running these charity events for the Hunter Costello Memorial FUN-dation.
That's right. Yeah, the HCMF for short, the Hunter Costello Memorial FUN-dation. It's a really awesome charity. A very good friend of mine is the president, and he asked me to be a part of it. And we do a lot of I wouldn't say monthly, but we do as many as we can visits to the Ronald McDonald House in London, where we make food, make breakfast or lunch or dinner for people that are staying there with their sick or injured children, and they raise money we put in a nice accessible playground here in Goderich, and we try to help families that have kids that are sick or have special needs in Huron County. So it was really a special thing to do, and of course, as you'll know, Eddie, everything we do in life, we somehow find a way to connect it to wrestling, and that's I thought to myself, hey, if we can have some fun and bring some special wrestlers here to Goderich, and maybe we can put out a collection plate and raise some money for charity, which we have for the last couple of years, and it's been a lot of fun.
And so the first one, there wasn't any special attraction, was there? It was just pro wrestling was the attraction.
I think that, I mean, there was, Freddie Mercurio was there. That was kind of cool.
Great talent.
Yeah, lots of great talent. Yeah, there was lots of great guys, and I think Goderich just doesn't get a chance to see that kind of live stuff. And it was cool to have Jeff Black, the hometown boy, come back and be able to show some of his family and friends around here his wrestling without them having to travel to Kitchener or Guelph or wherever. So, it was just more of a here's a different event. Come out and check it out. So yeah. And
that was the debut of Chico, correct?
I believe it was. Now I got a message from this Chico fella he can only really say Chico, so it's kind of hard to understand. So he kind of goes through some of a couple other interpreters and stuff to help us out. But I got just basically a picture of a guy in a mask, and I said, I'm in. I love it, and I think that Chico could run for mayor of Goderich and just about win, because Goderich loves Chico. He's over like Rover here in Goderich.
The funny thing is, last time I was out there, I got one of his shirts given to me. I was like, oh, that's really cool. It's a great purple mask, and the two big eyes sticking out of them. And I come home, and I put it on, and my lady's like, no. Pardon me? She's like, that's creepy. Pardon me? She thinks Chico's mask and face shirt is the creepiest shirt ever. And I've worn so many, I have the Sultan of Snot. I have all these terrible shirts, and it's
forehead with bloody, with blood and barbed wire shirts and stuff, and that's the one that wait till you see him in person, because Chico is pretty amazing. I have a niece who's she can speak a bit, but she's pretty young, but she can definitely say Chico. She is a big. For Christmas, I wanted to get her a personal message from Chico, but then I remembered all he can say is Chico. So I mean, there's no sense in spending $1,000 or whatever he's going to charge me to say. If it had been like, hey, it's great to see you, Merry Christmas, whatever, but no, all he would say is Chico. So I was like, I don't know if I can negotiate with this fella, but yeah, he's a great attraction here in Goderich.
And speaking of attractions, last October, you brought in Spenny.
That's right, yeah, from one of my favorite shows when I was in high school and stuff, and I mean, Jeff and I watched it a lot, and it was obviously very entertaining, and I just, kind of happened to get a hold of Spenny, I was talking to him in London at he does live music, so I was talking to him there, and I told him about the cause. He's a very, very, very nice and very charitable guy, and he wanted to help out any way he could, and said, yeah, certainly, I'd love to come to Goddard, and then he ended up partying with us all night. A bunch of the wrestlers stayed up with him, and it was basically time for me to pick him up, to bring him back to the train, to bring him back home. So he was a good, definitely a good fit in Ontario wrestling and in PWA at the time. So yeah.
I thought it was really cool how charitable he was and what he wanted to give back to the charity. And since it's such a great charity and it's doing so many good things for the Huron County, it was pretty amazing. I felt like the right fit for that event. Felt like that event.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think he was a very special, because I mean, Goddard, as much as they love the October Hunter Costello shows, they're not, as I said in the last time I was on, it's not a huge wrestling fan base in Goddard. Like they know it kind of casually. So if you have a guy like Spenny who's been on TV for other things, people recognize him. When I was handing out posters and stuff, they'd be like, "Oh, no way, Spenny's going to be here." So it's kind of neat to have somebody that's a little more mainstream. He was on CBC and Netflix and YouTube, and he was a little more mainstream. So it kind of brings people in and gets them hooked on the pro wrestling.
It's amazing. So we went from Chico to Jeff Black, all being local stars, to Spenny, and now I have to talk about it. I have to talk about your obsession, sir.
Oh, no.
We have to bring it up because I think it's one of the most amazing things on earth. Ladies and gentlemen, Joe-dawg has, I don't know what you want to call it, maybe a shrine. A shrine would be the best thing. Of Bret the Hitman Hart in his living room. Thank goodness he has a caring wife.
Yes, I have a very understanding wife, and my son, who's 6, he doesn't really get it yet. He always says, the pink and black. What's the pink and black guy's name again? And I say Bret, and he's like, oh yeah, right. Yeah, I mean, a shrine is maybe a bit. I call it more of a display or collection, but it's definitely hoarders-esque display, as there's. I was gonna actually count it up one day and see what's there, but there's a couple really good pieces in the Bret display, and I'm sure if Bret or another member of the Hart family came to my house, I would try to cover it with a sheet or something as fast as I could, so that they wouldn't call the cops and think that I'm a crazy person. But
and that's why I think it's a shrine. When you have to cover it up because you're scared they might think it might be a little bit stalkerish.
Well, I mean, there's no like candles, like lit candles, or music or incense or anything around them. It's just a couple cool action figures and stuff. There's nothing creepy about it.
You don't have a light on it, and like you press the button for music or anything?
I mean, I'd rather not comment on something like that. Yeah, I mean, there's a couple nice pieces. I've got the ceramic statue that the WWE released. That there was only 500 of them made, and they're all hand painted. And I got Bret to sign it. And there's a program from Stampede Wrestling with him on the cover from 1979 where he's suplexing Dynamite Kid. So that's a pretty special piece. There's a couple really nice pieces in the collection, but
it is pretty cool. There's amazing stuff in there, and I'm probably only ribbing you because I want it. But don't tell easy.
Yeah, don't forget about the PWA display too. I've got my wife once again. She's been very accepting and letting me screw nail steel chairs and stuff to the wall. So I've got probably 20 or 25 action figures of wrestlers who wrestled for us while they were in the PWA. So there's the Highlanders and Sean Spears and Steve Corino, and there's a bunch of really nice PWA action figures that are the people who have wrestled for us over the years.
It's pretty cool too. Like that one I like a lot because it just shows you all the guys we've had in throughout the years. And it's just kind of neat. I hear you may have a couple of Thrillbillies out there too.
I do. I ended up with the Eddie Osbourne and Hardcore Hick. I never got one, a custom Sean Sexsmith, is that his name?
Yeah, they're great. They're great. It was just I was moving at the time, so I left him with Jeff.
Yeah, he does an awesome job, but there isn't a Twisted Joe one there. But I did talk to him. He said one day he maybe would. But tucked in behind the PWA display is there's an Edge action figure, which is kind of an unofficial PWA star because he was there as maybe a lot of people don't know that story, but that's an excellent story for a podcast sometime. But Edge was at one of our shows, but obviously couldn't wrestle because at the time he was actually the world champ. How cool is that?
I thought it was pretty funny because we were setting up the ring, and sometimes it's frustrating, or I got a lot of stress on me because we got a lot of things going on, and someone's like, "Hey, Edge is downstairs." Like, fuck off! Like, let's get this thing up. And someone's like, "Nah, man, he's really downstairs." I'm like, yeah, I don't give a fuck. And so we start doing everything, and everything's up. I'm like, okay, looking great. Everyone did an amazing job. Thank you guys. Go downstairs. Oh, good day, sir. Nice to meet you. I'm Eddie.
Yeah, he said he was very nice, and he said, "Hi, how are you? I'm Adam." And I was like, "No, you're not Adam." I didn't say it to his face, but in my head, I'm thinking, "On this day, I see clearly." But I'm like, "Hey, Adam, yeah, sure, that's your name. Nice to meet you." But Paul Wright didn't believe me. I said, "Hey, did you hear Edge is here?" And same thing. He said the same thing. I know, whatever. And then he just happened to catch him out of the corner of his eye, and he shook me like, "Edge." I'm like, "I know, I told you." But, yeah, that was a very surreal moment, and I think there were some pictures. Taken like just kind of self or whatever, but definitely we weren't able to get him to come out and do anything obviously because he was contracted, but pretty cool to have him show up.
This is pre-selfie day. We didn't all just take pictures with our cell phones and all that. We'd have someone hold them and do them. So
yeah, I might not even have had a cell phone back then. Maybe a flip phone or something. I don't know, maybe, but I think I borrowed Jeff's or something. I don't know. CB? I might have a CB.
Amazing. All right, man. Well, I would want to open this up to you now and let you say anything you want about your feelings on the new 365 promotion.
Well, I gotta say, I mean, looking at just the card for the 25th and the Friday show in Kitchener and the new venue, I've never been there, but I've seen pictures of it, and it's just so exciting. Like it really shows that it's an entertaining show that we're trying to put on by having stadium seating and a stage and it really kind of I think it's going to be awesome. And when you look at the guys we have coming, I mean, we have some of the the mainstays obviously that we had in PWA, Joey Allen and Eazy-E, but to be able to get guys like Tyson Dukes and it's just super exciting. Have Icarus back in Ontario and Josh Alexander. It's just like, man, it is stacked, as some people might say. That those two shows are going to be amazing. So yeah, definitely excited for that.
I was expecting you to say, you still haven't told me what I'm doing.
Oh, that's okay. I you know what? Honestly, I will show up with a couple new ring ropes, and I'll run the sound or sell merch. I don't care. I just want to be able to see all my buddies and meet a couple new guys and have a fun time with 365. I'm not too picky with what I do. So.
Exactly. That's why it's so easy to work with you, just because you always want to help out. Like you said in the previous one, you've done it all. You've managed, refereed, ring announce, like everything. So concession, everything. So
really, I enjoy refereeing as well, because I mean that's pretty fun to be able to. Yeah, it's neat to really have the best seat in the house. Sometimes honestly, like I did a match. I think it was Josh Alexander and somebody, and the match was so good that I think he went for a 2 count or something, and I went, oh shit, I got to get down, and like I was just watching this awesome match, like in the ring, like this best seat in the house, and it's kind of like you forget, oh yeah, I've got some duties here. I've got to like it kind of takes you away because you realize you can really get nice and close. So yeah.
For sure. All right, man, I'm going to end this one, but I want to leave it up to you. Where can people find you? Where can they interact with you? And
first, I just want to say Chris Benoit. And can we say that on here? Chris Benoit? No? Mild Thing Joe 98 is my Instagram handle. Check me out on there. Much like Judas Icarus, when I have pictures where I look ripped, I post those on there. I think the guest should say that on every 365 podcast. When I look, because who's the last fella there? Not before.
Last one was Paul.
Before Paul, he said the same thing.
Who was after that?
It was Joey Allen, and then I'm getting them all mixed up because I watched them.
Yeah, we went Warhead, Joey Allen, Judas Icarus, Paul Wright, Joey Hallam.
Well, there you go. Anyway, Judas said he when he looks nice and ripped, he posts pics. So wait, no, what the guy that works at Subway at like 4 a.m?
We got Zach Andrews as well.
Zach Andrews, that's his name. He's same thing, and he looks ripped. He posts pictures. So I do the same thing, except I'm never ripped because I'm, Mild Thing Joe 98 on Instagram. Joe-dawg Dawg Hallam, which is kind of shades of Gaze of Coleman Jr., the big dog. Joe-dawg Hallam on Facebook. Hit me up, and check out and see what the next time I'm doing some stand up or definitely hitting some ring announcing and stuff on 365 Pro Wrestling.
All right, thanks so much, man. You take care.
Thank you, Eddie Osbourne, and all the best in 2020.
365 Nation, thank you again for listening to this podcast. Hope you enjoyed Joey. He's a great dude. And I hope you join us at the Willow Point Lions Club this Friday in Campbell River and at the Comox Band Hall in Courtenay this Saturday. Thanks so much. Check out our website, www.365prowrestling.com, for all our event details.